Hi, my name is Elizabeth Elliott. This is my video for my Culminating project teaching fluency, specifically looking for prefixes. The very first thing that we're going to do for this lesson is a read aloud of the book, If You Were a Prefix. Throughout it, it goes over what a prefix is, what are some examples. For my first activity, so this piece of paper is pretend it's an anchor chart. I'm going to interact with my students and go, can anyone tell me what is an example of a prefix? I'm going to look for hands. Maybe instead of asking the question outright, I'll have them discuss it with a partner. Either way, say one of the students decides pre. Okay, so I'm going to write prefix pre on here. Of course, a good example of this is prefix. Maybe another example is preview, prepare, and so on and so forth. So the students will be actively thinking of examples of words that begin with the prefix pre. So I'm going to be calling out students, what is an example, and we're going to write them on the anchor chart. Then this anchor chart is going to be posted somewhere in our classroom so students can see it. So they can go, if they go, what's a prefix? Boom, it's right on the wall for them to remember. My next activity has to do with matching different parts of a prefix. Now you have to forgive me, I don't have any index cards, but I do have sticky notes. So for this activity, firstly, I'm gonna have 7 pairs already prepared of the prefix. So that's gonna be, one example is miss and place. Another example is un and finished. So the students will mix up, and my preference is that these are laminated pieces of paper that students are then gonna move around. They're gonna say, unplace. Is that a word? Does that make sense? No. Misplace, there you go, there's a word. And then un has to go with finished. So they'll be given an example 7 pairs to match up to begin with. And then what the index cards are going to be for is I want them to come up with their own. And that's also where this anchor chart is I'm going to bring it back in, is going to help, because if they can't think of a example of a prefix, they can look on the anchor chart because we already talked about it. Or if I have copies of the book out, I'll definitely have them out so students can look at that and get inspirations. This is a general overview of my lesson. I would expect it's going to take 30 to 45 minutes depending on the class and how fast they go. Thank you for listening.